Hello, No. Welcome back. First one in. There's Darth. Hi, Darth. Say hey to Darth. No? You'd say hi if I stopped the pets, though, wouldn't you? Probably. Going good. We're first day of maintenance interval at work today. So we shut down all the lines last night, and I'm going to be off for the most part for the next 10 or so days. Now, unfortunately, I got a couple of meetings that I got to go to right in the middle of it. So that's kind of a drag, kind of limits my options. But, we'll talk to the boss and see if we can do something better about that next year. I'm all for having like the meetings, the department meetings where we all get together and stuff like that. And I understand we can't do it while production's going on. So maintenance interval is the right time to do that. But there's a lot of us like me who wait until shutdown to do vacations and stuff like that. And if you have a 2 week interval here, whatever here, get it into the screen 2 week interval, and they plop a meeting here and a meeting here, it kind of limits your abilities to do anything. But that's the way it goes. So I'm off until Friday, basically. I am ready for Silo Screams. I went out there last week, got my mask for the year. This is what I'm going to be wearing this year. Lovely, huh? Yeah, that's kind of ugly looking. Yeah, it really gets me into the Halloween spirit doing that. So I like doing it. This is going to be my 6th year at the Scream. I'm getting another billboard, which is really exciting. We'll probably go down and check that out. Well, the tools that I have are usually when I'm inside the haunt. I'm going to be outside again. Since I'm only going to be there for 2 shows right at the beginning, I'll be out. So they gave me this really nasty looking dagger that I can carry, and I've put some fake blood on it, so it's going to look really cool. It's going to look all drippy with blood and stuff like that. Hey, Yvonne. I don't know if he called it perma blood. I don't know if they call it goo. He called it perma blood. And the advantage of that stuff is it's not supposed. The stuff that I've used for blood before, when it gets warm, it starts to melt and it becomes sticky. This stuff doesn't, so that's a good thing. Kensington Gore, huh? Is that one of Al Gore's kids? All right, would you prefer me call you John? And does Bike get to call you John? Yeah, he was here right at the beginning of Yvonne, but he walked off a little bit and then realized, wait a second, I'm not getting my head pat. I got to go do something about that. Right? And now here you are. Oh, I got the brush too, don't I? Yeah, he likes the brush. Well, normally today would be my day to go to the rock shop, but today I'm not going because right after the live stream, I'm driving to San Antonio, and I'm going to do a bunch of vlogs down there. I'm going to go visit the Alamo finally. I'm actually staying at a hotel that's like a couple of blocks from the Alamo, so I'll probably end up walking down there tonight just to get a kind of a pre-idea of what I'm going to do, and then we're going to probably go do a vlog for real at the Alamo tomorrow. I want to visit the river walk down there, which is supposed to be really amazing. Um, and there's also a couple of caves down there I want to visit. So we're gonna check out a bunch of stuff, and we'll just maybe like I said, I got about six things planned, and we'll go from there. Maybe we'll find some other stuff too. Just walk around. Definitely going to show you the Pee Wee bike, Darth. That's one of the things that made me want to go. I mean, I want to go because it's a historical location. There's such a great story about it, but um, definitely want to see the Pee Wee bike. That was, I think, what pushed me to do this as quick as when I started saying, "Oh, the Pee Wee bike's there too." So yeah, I definitely want to go do that. Mexican restaurant? Which Mexican restaurant do I need to check? Find John Wayne's hat. Okay, I guess we're being really cryptic here now. Yeah, sometimes that ends up happening, John, because you get somebody that has maybe a handle name or whatever, a username that maybe has some significance to them, but not necessarily everyone else. You're going to go with what makes sense, and so that's why I went with no. Also, there's like three or four caves down there, and there's three of them I want to check out. So, like I said, I got a hotel. I'm staying there until Thursday, so that'll give me 3 whole days to do some caving and to do some exploring San Antonio. I want to look around, and see if they got a rock shop too. Who knows? Maybe I can find something fun. Well, I'll try not to get lost. I'm hoping some of these caves are not guided tour caves like the Carlsbad Caverns were, because it was fun just having kind of be able to walk around and look at things in the cave and not have be able to do my own little vlog and stuff like that. But then I've been to places like Interspace Caverns and Longhorn Caverns, and they have guided tours, so it's hard to vlog them. I'm streaming through a laptop. Yeah, well, I'm open to stopping along areas where, if I see something that catches my attention. So who knows? I'm going to bring the laptop with me and I'm going to try and edit on the road. Although last time I tried editing on the laptop's getting old and not necessarily up to the task, I think, anymore of crunching video. But we'll try. And if we can't, they'll just all kind of wait until I get back and then we'll pop them out then. Hello, Gene. For a while, for a long time, I used the video editing program that came with the Nero software. But when I got the new computer, I upgraded to Adobe Premiere. No, Byte's gonna stay home. He's gonna guard the house. I don't think he knows that yet, but I think he's starting to get the idea because he sees me putting out the multi-day food dish. Yeah, yeah, I think he's up to the task though. Like I said, he's 18 now. He should be pulling his own weight a little bit, shouldn't you? Gonna be the guard cat of the house. Probably just sleep the whole time. I'm doubtful of his ability to protect the house against the moth, but whatever. Yeah, usually when you start running into crashes, it might just mean that the computer's getting old. That's what I'm running into with this laptop too. I've had this. Uh, well, basically, I got this at Christmas before I started vlogging, and my old laptop was still working at the time, so I left it in a box and didn't actually start using it for real until I moved away from California. And at that point, I said, okay, it's time to move to the new laptop. And I've been running that for going on 7 years now. So I have been thinking about putting like some wireless surveillance cameras in here, or at least around the property on the outside. Well, I could do like I did with Flash at one time and strap a GoPro to his head. No, I don't think you'd want to see what that tail sees. Close up of the litter box. Yay. Yeah, that's what we want. I mean, I already got enough problem with him showing his butt on camera. Let's not put a camera on his butt. That's just asking for trouble. I don't know if he'd know what to do with the camera on his head. He'd probably try and get it off. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be, Darth. Never seen anything like that, John. A little remote control robot. That's a trip. Yeah, I went to, like I said a minute ago, I went to Premiere when I got the new computer. I wanted to go with a full blown copy of Photoshop. I've had a bootleg copy of Photoshop for forever, and it's probably 25 years old, and so I knew that I'd had a chance a couple times to play with the new version of Photoshop, and wanted to get that. And I said, I'm doing the video. I've shot video on Premiere, edited on Premiere before, and I wanted to make that move too. So yeah, I got actually kind of a professional video editing program now. I'll admit that the video editor in Nero was really good. I mean, let's face it, every video up to about 6 months ago, I edited in that. And I mean, really, the reason I had the Nero software in the first place was it was actually initially software for making DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that, burning discs. But it came with video software and stuff like that, and I started playing with it, and it's like, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And then I turned it into a vlog. It started off with those little goofy jaw videos that I would make when Jordan was traveling internationally, and just went from there. That's what I'm trying to do is get away from Disney, John. There is hardware to do it, but I can't do that on my machine. One, I don't have a laser disc player, and two, I need to have analog capture, and I don't have that ability. I suppose I could put that in there, but there isn't enough demand for that at this point. Plus, with exception of like the original Star Wars that are, not edited and re-edited the way Lucas did, that's really the only stuff I have that, I would consider transferring over. Most of the rest of the stuff, I got rid of most of my laser discs before I moved to Texas, and I kept just a couple of them, ones that I thought were valuable. But for the most part, the stuff that I did keep on Laserdisc, I've got DVDs or Blu-rays of anyway. So, but like I said, I keep the first three Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6 because, like I said, those are really pristine NTSC copies of Star Wars in its original format. Before it was re-edited by Lucas. The one where Han shoots first. and the ones where every time a planet explodes, there isn't a ring of debris flying outward from it. Oh, the original. Everyone always says, "How do you watch these? Do you watch them one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine? Do you watch them four, five, six, one, two, three, seven, eight, nine?" No, I just watch four, five, six. I've got a lot of the rest of them, but I don't know. They weren't as good when they came out, and they aren't any better. I don't know. I think Disney killed them like they killed Marvel. Episode two was better than episode one. I was really disappointed in episode one. Episode two was better. Um, Episode three was okay. But yeah, I think just it's four, five, and six. I watched four, five, and six just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I enjoyed Disney somewhat as a kid. I mean, I remember seeing, Disney movies when I was growing up and going to the theme parks and then all that stuff. And then as I got older, I didn't really go that much because it was starting to get too expensive. And then I worked there and I got totally burned out on the place and started a vlog called Escaping the Mouse. Yeah, see, there's not enough need for me to have access to Disney material to go get the Disney Plus. What I really wish is that there was one single company that had everything, so I didn't have to subscribe to 40 different streaming services. Yeah, that's where it came from, John. I mean, I've got most of the Pixar movies just because I wanted to understand, that aspect of stuff because that was what I was doing. But I don't watch those anymore. Hey, Susan, welcome to the party. You mean the difference between the way ABC treated Roseanne and the way they treated Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, that just shows who ABC is. I don't know though. Did part of the problem that's triggered all this? The left wants to say he was pulled off the air because the Trump administration, uh, you know, reached in with the FCC and forced him to do it. First off, if ABC was gonna do that, if ABC was gonna, if that actually happened, ABC, and ABC wanted to defend Kimmel, they would have taken him to court and probably found a left wing judge to side with him. No, they did it because a couple of their affiliates said that they weren't going to broadcast anymore, and all of a sudden, some of the biggest cities in the nation were going to go black on Jimmy Kimmel. That's why it happened. I don't know, and I don't know if the affiliates reverse course or if he's still going to be off the air. Well, I mean, in terms of the people who watch Jimmy Kimmel, they're people that are going to agree with Jimmy Kimmel. The people that wouldn't watch him over this already didn't watch him. I mean, he's not funny. Yeah, that's really what it is. And I think maybe the decision to bring him back is related to the way the two different parties deal with uh, horrible things like that. The Republicans, we just wanted him gone. We didn't think he should be doing that. But that was as far as we went. But there were leftists that were shooting up ABC affiliates. To protest him being pulled off the air. They're the violent ones. Yeah, me too, Yvonne. Carson was way funnier. Even Jay Leno was funny. Yeah, I love Rodney Dangerfield too. Now Letterman was funny, but he went left wing wacko too. If he came back now, he'd just be another Jimmy Kimmel. I used to watch Letterman during his heyday, though. He was great. I do that, John, 3 to 4 days a week. My work shift. I'm usually at work at about 6:15 in the morning, and I'm out, 8 or 8:30 sometimes at night. So I do 13, 14-hour days every day. But it's nice because then I get like 3 or 4 days off every week, and that's really nice. Hey, Eric. I like doing a swing shift, and I did that for a long time. I had a choice because I was a senior person, but I liked being able to, go to work at 2 in the afternoon and stay till 10 at night or something like that. Get home, it's all nice and quiet. I have a little stuff to, little things I can do in the morning, get to sleep in the morning. I really like that. I've done overnight stuff, for Disney and stuff like that. You're doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and only get Sundays off. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. The reason I like this shift right now is because I do get 3 or 4 days off every week. I do get overtime, and that's that. Well, and I mean I get a lot of overtime too because that's what really is making the checks nice. Well, we're in the maintenance interval now, John. So yeah, it's very slow at work. As a matter of fact, it's so slow right now. I'm not going to work for the next about 10 days. That's why I'm going to go out and do a little traveling this week. When I'm done with the live stream, I'm going to go drive to San Antonio, and we're going to spend a few days there. Do some vlogs. Yeah, I like having time off. I'm really horrible at taking vacation during the normal year. My boss has been bugging me about that for a long time. I was like, dude, you need to go take some vacation time. So I'm going to do it now. This is going to be fun. Going to check out San Antonio. Never been there. Going to go look for Pee Wee Herman's bike. No, it's only been slow because we're winding down for maintenance interval. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to go to too, John, is check out the river walk. And yeah, Bite's going to be the attack cat. Probably will do that, Gene. I'm also going to look see if there's any cool rock shops in town. Yeah, Bite'll have her under the house for the next 3 or 4 days. One of your highlights was on the TV. That's cool. You're going to have a celebrity here. Oh, I'll bring home some sort of souvenir. I don't think I'll chip anything off the building itself, but I'm sure they have some sort of gift shop. Kind of lately, for the last few years, when I go places, I've been collecting magnets for the refrigerator. So I'll probably try and find an Alamo magnet, and other stuff along the way. Hey, bye. Trying to work up the courage to come on up. Yeah, there we go. Now you made it. Yeah. Could you see it? Small time vlogger. This coming weekend, Friday and Saturday. That's the only time I can do it because as I was telling John Guthrie over at Silo, the reason I can do this anymore is because of these maintenance intervals we do at work. Otherwise I can't guarantee I'm going to get out on time. Want the kitty treats? You really wish you had thumbs, don't you? Well, that's another part of it, John. Doing it earlier in the season, it isn't as hard to do it. And even if I were able to go during a work night, I wouldn't go, our work day. I wouldn't go like on a Friday anymore because it's too much being out until 3 in the morning and then having to get up at 4:30 and go to work again. But earlier on in the season, it isn't quite the crowd, so we'll be usually done by 10 or 11. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'll have to offer autograph mug shots. And Eric isn't even that. I don't even think we're 20 mean age. I've looked at the demos of my audience, and like 98% of you are like 50 or older. I guess that makes sense. I'm 50 or older too. Yes, I am getting a billboard. Let's see, do I got it here? I think I put it on the last video here, but let's see. There he is. Oops. Yeah, that's the picture right there. I didn't expect that he'd do that again, so that was really kind of fun. Wow, John's really young. I'm glad my knees have held out pretty well. I like to walk, and if my legs gave out at all, my quality of life would go way down. I'm just really happy that he appreciates me and does that, and it makes sense. It's he gives me one. He doesn't make me drive to Temple or something like that, or Belton or something like that uh, to see my. He puts it in Waco because he knows I live in Waco. So yeah, it's going to be down on what did he say? Valley Mills Drive, uh, and let's see. Valley Mills at Memorial. And he said starting in about a week, and that was last week, so it's probably up now. So any of you live in the Waco area, or just happen to find yourself in the Waco area, stop off on Valley Mills, go to Memorial, and look for my billboard. The ugly one, Darth. The video is in the hands of my boss now. My boss had to uh, go out of state and deal with his mom. His mom has dementia, and they're having to do something with that. And so he has the video, but I don't know if he's actually watched it yet. Yeah, I'm glad I haven't run into any arthritis. No, I don't think Jordan knows I'm on. I'm gonna be going doing this trip. I've kind of hinted about it a little bit on the live streams here, but you have osteoarthritis. That doesn't sound like fun. Attacks the cartilage. Okay, interesting. Yeah, wouldn't it be ironic that Charles has been waiting to be king all his life, and his mom just wouldn't die, and then she finally does. He becomes king, and then a couple of years later, his health goes, and he goes too. Yeah, well, I mean, the image I have of him is back like when he was getting married to Diane, and he was really young. He's old now. It's possible, John. I don't know. I don't know what the age difference between Charles and Diane was. Yeah, I guess I didn't know that she was that young. Is that what he has? He has cancer? I don't know. I haven't really been following this story. We got too much craziness we got to deal with here. That is quite a difference. I think Harry's out of the equation. Yeah, I heard that. That was the first time that a U.S. president visited the UK and like been invited for like a state dinner and stuff like that. How to find somebody? It's been 20, 21 years. I don't know. Well, and that would be interesting if Charles is dying, that Harry's trying to reach out and maybe make peace or something. But yeah, maybe it is he's out of money. Didn't they have like didn't Megan have like some show on Netflix or something like that that failed? Or was that the Obamas? Or better yet, someone that you agree with on politics. But I think Megan had a show too, like a cooking show or something like that, wasn't it? Wasn't there something like that? Didn't I hear something about that? Yeah, I know that's sort of the way I look at it too, Darth. Last thing I want to do is think about Megan cooking. Did she do that? I don't know. I got to admit, I've never watched her, so I don't know. That's what I heard. There was like some plagiarism comments too. Like that wasn't she like on some third-rate TV show before, I don't know, some reality show or something like that? She was on the Suits. Okay, I don't even never heard of that show. Is that a reality show? Is that like a drama, a comedy? What? I mean, you gotta remember, I haven't watched TV in a long time. I cut the cable a long time ago. Okay, so it was a drama, some law drama, huh? Like L.A. Law, but it sucked. Okay, yeah. All right. Doesn't sound like it, even if I had heard of it, it doesn't sound like something I would have watched. I didn't kind of watch that kind of stuff. Game shows, another thing I don't really get into that much. Kathy Bates sure turned out to be kind of a one-trick pony, though, didn't she? I didn't do any digging last week because I had a few other things I had to take care of, and it also rained a little bit, so it was kind of muddy out there. So it's basically um, like it was last time you saw it. Oh, that's right. There was a remake of Matlock with a woman in the lead. Was that it? Because I keep seeing it every time I log on to Paramount Plus. They keep promoting it. I didn't watch the original. I'm not gonna watch a new one where, yeah, let's do like every failed movie and TV show does and take a popular TV show or movie or idea involving men and recast it with women. Yeah, we're being progressive. Woohoo! And then we'll blame misogyny when it fails. Just got to wonder how these entertainment companies can keep, creating flops and remain in business. How does Disney do that? Make movies that nobody wants to watch. You know, Walt will be rolling in his grave right now, seeing some of the slop that company's put out. Well, the fact that I never heard of her until she started dating Harry. There must not be very many of them then, Gene, because a lot of these shows don't get any ratings. I've been binge watching that '70s show, but I'm in the last season now where they've written Eric off and replaced him with that guy Randy, and that's the beginning of the end. Well, I mean, I could that does actually bring up a good idea. I should probably bring an HDMI cable with me so I can plug my laptop into the TV. Because sometimes it is nice to be able to stream. And I do have Netflix and Paramount Plus here. You talking the original Top Gun, John, or the remake? Because everyone here is pressuring me to watch the new one, and I will at some point. I just like I said before, I got to be in the mood for a Top Gun movie, and I got to admit, I don't even know why I'm watching it, why I'm even subscribing to Netflix anymore. I rarely watch it. I used to love the George Reeves Superman when I was a kid. Well, I heard about the She-Hulk thing. Yeah, that another one that bombed. Never seen the Young Sheldon ones. I saw a few of the Big Bang Theory shows. So they used to have it running in the cafeteria at Disney. I don't know. What are they? I don't know what's on Apple Plus. I do remember that episode of Big Bang Theory where Jordan was an extra. Yeah, I'm on Paramount Plus too. I don't know what's Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah, but I don't like commercials, Yvonne. So, usually when you get free streaming, that means you're going to be watching commercials every 10 minutes. It just destroys the continuity of a movie. Yeah, I know. He walked all across the whole screen. I got a video clip of that somewhere. Oh, it's a movie, huh? Okay, Christian Bale, Matt Damon. Huh. All right. I don't think I think I've heard of the studio, but I've never seen it. Yeah, I definitely got to check that out at some point. Like I said, I got to be in the mood for a Top Gun movie. Get in the mood. Greyhound. I guess that's another show. I've never heard of that one. A Greyhound is a dog or a bus company. That's my knowledge on that. Yeah, see, all sorts of shows that I, for the most part, haven't heard of or definitely haven't seen. Okay, bye. I'm I'm just one of those people that's sort of withdrawn into the things I enjoyed when I was younger, and so I got all that stuff on DVD. And with rare exceptions, do I go out to streaming services? I get Paramount because they got the Star Trek series. And I'm a Star Trek nerd, but beyond that, not so much. Yeah, look who's back. Yeah, that's where I am too, Gene. That's okay. We'll take what we can get. And if there's 13 people in here right now, and then I'll talk to 13 people. Ah, see, it's 14 now, so we're getting better. He always wants more treats. You don't like this jug as much. You can't get your head in there, can you? I hear he's kind of a jerk in real life too. I mean, he seems like he's such a nice person in everything he's in, but yeah, no TV at all for me. Never saw Tropic Thunder. I mean, I look at a lot of movies that he's been in. I like a lot of the stuff he's been in. I thought he was great in Big, going way back. The Green Mile, he was great in that. Forrest Gump, he was great in that. And that's when you know you get a good movie when it couldn't be made today. Well, just about all of them in Hollywood are. They're millionaires. They can afford to be socialists. But I'm as likely to take the considerations of what a Hollywood actor says seriously as I am likely to take what Greta Thunberg says seriously. Yeah, you get cat fur all over the place now, bite. Yeah, I heard he's a jerk to people he considers inferior to him, which is basically everyone. So if you're like a taxi driver or something like that, he'll treat you like garbage. What's that here? Susan just sent a picture. Oh, that's funny. Can't expand it too much. Looks like Susan posing with a cardboard cutout of the Queen. Yeah, you never know what's going to come here. I got a pack first, Darth. Make sure everything's set up for the keep the keep the everything ready here. Hanging out in front of the men's room with the Queen, huh? Wow, not many people can say that. I like Roseanne Barr and Tim Allen. Who Russell who? Russell Brand. Okay. I like Kelsey Grammer too. See, I never watched Frasier. I've always liked him in other things. I liked him doing the. I used to watch The Simpsons a lot, and he was the voice of Sideshow Bob. Oh, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell. Is it Kirk Russell or Kurt? I think it's Kurt Russell, isn't it? Although it's spelled Kurt, isn't it? Yeah, might as well just say, yeah, we ran out of money. Please support us. Well, and I think a big part of that is that shows can't do anything and be funny anymore because you got to worry about who you're going to offend. The that was the great thing about shows back when is that you could tell jokes and people would laugh instead of getting angry. It really destroys the entertainment industry. I was talking a little while ago about how I've been binge watching that '70s show, and I heard that they were going to do the sequel or a reboot called that '90s show, and I watched the first episode. It was horrible. Yeah, I can imagine. I would. I don't think I'd want to work like that. See, I just kind of enjoy all my DVDs and Blu-rays. That kind of tends to be what I do. If I hear about a movie that somebody's been, raving about, I'll sometimes do that. And I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, for instance, but it took me for a long time to get to actually go out and buy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that was after both Jordan and my friend Matt, who does the Island Horizon videos, both were raving about the movie, and actually one of the times Jordan was here, he actually went out and bought me a copy of it and said, "We got to watch this. This is a great movie," and it is. It's an amazing movie. I think it's his best. But yeah, I'm not very adventuresome these days about new movies. Yeah, pretty much, John. It's you and Eric. We're all the rest of us are old fogies. You're live streaming with somebody old enough to be your grandfather. Well, you're only as old as you act. In that case, I'm about 10. It's not really that weird. They have one idea that yeah, has maybe a couple of interesting concepts, but then they get the good ideas out, and it's like, the rest of it kind of oops. And it isn't even summer anymore. And they think that everybody wants to just see remakes. Never seen Arrested Development. Never seen Wednesday. Sorry, somebody already did that, Susan. That's me. It's called Escaping the Mouse. I've heard that Quentin has maybe one more movie in him and then he's going to retire. I hope not. I think he's the best director of our generation. But if it was his last one, wow, what a movie to go out on. Escaping the Mouse. I don't think I couldn't stand Escaping the Mouse 1.0. See, Inglorious Bastards is one I didn't really like. I watched it a couple times. I actually do have it, but I like Reservoir Dogs. I like Pulp Fiction. I like Kill Bill. I like Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown's great. That's sort of an underrated Quentin movie. Once Upon a Time, of course. Dusk Till Dawn. I guess that's technically not a Quentin movie, but he's in it. He's great in it. It feels like a Quentin Tarantino movie, at least the first half of it. Death Proof. That's another good one. I don't know how that would work, Susan. had such a crush on Justine Bateman when I was younger. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, Susan, because there would definitely be copyright issues. I remember when I tried to run an episode of The Twilight Zone. If I got a rabbit, I could have. If I had a rabbit, probably some of the birds of prey would take it. I'd love to have a rabbit again in the yard. I had one when I was a kid, but there's too many wild animals here that would take a rabbit. Rabbit wouldn't last long. Saw Flash this morning. She was hanging out on the patio. I was actually going to try and make that the cover photo for the live stream, but the second I got close to her with the camera, she pulled into her shell. She's doing good. I think she's starting to like it. It's getting a little cooler here now. It's not so hot, so she's out and about a little bit more. I have to beat on my TV a little bit right now. Mine's getting a little old, and the image kind of flickers a little bit when you first turn it on. You give it a little tap in the back, and that usually clears it up. No, I didn't. Well, I mean, I saw Inglorious Bastard, but I wasn't really into it. Catch you next time, Gene. No, I never saw Fury. Like I said, I haven't seen a movie in the movie theater since I moved to Texas. No, I'm not going to Austin city limits. Austin isn't enough of a place I want to visit anymore. I'm actually going to drive through Austin today, going to San Antonio, but going to try and stop, try and stay out of there as much as possible. What's HGB? Last time I was there, the lakes seemed to be doing all right. Yeah, I ended up getting a new tire. That was what I had to do. I did a video of that, Gene. It's actually a really pretty cool place. There was actually two times I went down there. First time I tried to go, and the whole place was closed because of COVID. And then I went by a couple of years later after the COVID paranoia had toned down a little bit. And it's actually a pretty cool library. There's a lot of neat things in there. Not one of our greatest presidents, but the H.W. Bush. I haven't been to the W. Bush yet. That's up in Dallas. I do want to check it out, though. Thanks for stopping in, John. Hope to see you again next time. It's always fun when we get a new visitor here. Let's sit up a little bit here. It's better for my spine. That was Jordan's idea. He was the one that suggested I do that. I've been to the LBJ library with Jordan wanted to do that. Jordan's really into presidential libraries. And so I've gotten the opportunity to go to several of them with him, including a couple he did before, we did before he was even vlogging. Yeah, I guess so. I think she's back to work. Houston, there's too much traffic in Houston. Yeah, Jordan's concept of that "Would I Do It Again" video was just me talking about it, and I said, you know what, I got every one of the videos I've ever shot, and so I'm going to pull, and that enabled me also to kind of look through the videos and say, okay, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. That's probably the most scripted video I've ever done. I just avoid the toll booths whenever possible. I did. I went and got my ears flushed out last week. I didn't decide to do a video on it. You don't need to see that. I wish I didn't have to see it. Yeah, they're all over in Texas. We also had something called Fast Pass in California, where you could buy one of these little transponders that went on your window and they just automatically charge you. Yeah, most of the trip down to San Antonio today is taking roads I've never been on. So that leaves me open to stop and see things along the way. And who knows, maybe we'll do that too. Yeah. Yeah, our taxes paid for the roads and then we have to pay to use them. Yeah, that makes sense. That's just a good reason to stay out of the Bay Area, if you ask me, as if you need another reason. There's a few of them around Dallas and in Austin too. Like I said, I just avoid them. I've got the map programmed in for my trip down to San Antonio today, and I've already got it programmed in. Say, yeah, no tolls. I don't care if I have to drive longer to get there. Well, and I kind of like being out kind of in the little nowhere places, you know, check out some of these little towns that, you never heard of before. And, if you blink, you miss them. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like Texas is it's got kind of and Waco specifically is because it's got, a bunch of little small towns. That may not be somebody else's cup of tea, but I enjoy it here. Yeah, Governor Abbott is a pretty good governor. I like him. Well, the caves I want to visit are looks like 10 or 12 miles from where I'm staying. I got a hotel that's literally walking distance from the Alamo, and it's probably, I don't know, what does it say? I got the map here. Let's look at it here. There it is. Pull it up here. 175 miles one way. So it's going to be a little under a 3 hour drive. It should be now. I got a good new tire, so we should be good to go. Oh, please tell me that's for me. I think it's for me. Good. I have some, I have a couple of things of grapefruit juice that are showing up, and I think they're just about to show up at the door here. They're supposed to come today, and I was hoping that they'd get here before I left. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's like a delivery van out in front here. Yep, I just got my stuff. I think he sees me through the window too. Hope he doesn't ring the bell. Just leaves it. Nope, he just left it. Good. All right, got my grapefruit juice. I was worried about that. Yeah, that would have been bad if I got out on the road and had a flat. That would have been no fun. All right, let me go get my grapefruit juice. Hang on a second. That was a close one. All right, we're ready now. So I placed the order for it about a week ago, and they were saying, "Oh, it'll be here on Sunday." It's like, nuts! I'm driving to San Antonio, and if I get here too late here or whatever, he'll end up sitting on the porch for the next 4 days. Yeah, I've never been into grapefruit juice, but or pink grapefruit juice. That was always the problem. I used to get like Ocean Spray at the grocery store in California, and then they changed, and their regular grapefruit juice started tasting like pink fruit grapefruit juice. But I just love the plain, unsweetened stuff. Yeah, yeah, Debo, I love grapefruit juice. That's just my thing. I do because I can't find anyone local that carries it. Even the local HEB stopped carrying. So thanks, Darth. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun trip. Like I said, I'm gonna try and bring my laptop and edit on the fly there and get stuff uploaded. But my laptop hasn't been doing a very good job with that. So we'll see what happens. If I can do it, I'll do it. If not, I'll just have to wait until I get back, and then there'll be a bunch of videos then. No, I don't have an iPad. I have a Android pad, but I don't use that very much. I just use the laptop that I'm live streaming on right now. Actually, I got my mom's iPad, but I don't have the password to open it, so that doesn't do me any good. I think Matt shoots all his videos on an iPad. I shot all the footage on work hours. I don't have the editing software at work. It's only at home, so I had to do that here. But and I recorded all the audio here using that mic setup I showed you in that one video. See, that was the one that triggered Jordan to inspire me to do that. Would I do it again video? Because he'd watched the one about me doing the video at work, and said, yeah, well, that's why the people, they like that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I guess sort of. I got paid for it. I mean, I got paid for the time I did it. They didn't give me they didn't give me any hassle about doing that on the clock. It was an instruction I got from my boss, and I think the last time I talked to Jordan was when he gave me the idea about doing the video. But we don't. Um, we talk when we have something to say to each other, basically. And in terms of talk, what we mean by talking is we text back and forth. I saw the somebody posted that eating world foods with Katie. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to watch that one. That does sound kind of funny. But we did it live. It was it live? I didn't know that. That would be even funnier. I mean, I remember the time when I came on here and ate a habanero chili. on the live stream. Cut it into like four little chunks and ate it through it and was breathing fire for most of the live stream. Yeah, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Definitely be some more work in the yard. You got a long ways to go on that project. Yeah, Halloween's coming up. That's definitely going to be the thing here. I'm doing Silo Screams this weekend, both Friday and Saturday. I'll be wearing this bad boy. Uh, it's even set up so if I talk, it talks. I like it's got maggots all over him. So that's cool. It'd be really cool if we get some little animatronics in there and make the maggots move, but no such luck. No, I don't dress up on Halloween night. I let the yard do the speaking. I generally dress in all black so that I can can kind of blend in when I need to. Oh, it's nothing like a guy with maggots. It's been cooling off here a little bit too. It's actually nice at night. Bottom bum. Yeah, there are a bunch of the electronic ones. I see a bunch of like car windows with the transponders and the windshield. Yeah, I guess if you go through and you don't have the tag, they'll look at the plate and they'll send you the bill. Like I said, it hasn't run into it yet. I usually try and avoid shooting too much footage in my yard just because I don't really want people knowing where I live. So probably not. It would be fun to have like a photo booth or something like that. I do tend to shoot footage of my Halloween setup, but I don't post that because, like I said, I don't want pictures of my house or the neighborhood I live in or anything like that. Yeah, I don't go through areas where there's toll booths enough where it's worth the trouble. That is true, John. You're always being spied on. There's cameras everywhere. I gotta say, I've been thinking about putting like a surveillance system on the house. I don't know. I got to find the right thing. I've been looking at some of the options out there. Ain't that the truth, Susan? Yeah, I know. There always seems to be trouble on rooftops. Yeah, they're on all the traffic lights, definitely. Anytime you get a bank, there's cameras on that, cameras on the ATMs. I've never thought about getting one of the transponders just because I don't drive enough in the areas where there are. I mean, there aren't any toll roads around Waco that I know of. The nearest ones I know are in Austin and in Dallas, and I just tell the map software to avoid that. Yeah, yeah, I've always had one of the little jingle bells on the door. But people have said that my rock collection is getting kind of valuable, and that's true. And it could at some point you know become a target. Another reason why I kind of keep my where I live exactly kind of a closely guarded secret here. I do have a piece of jade. I just got it recently. Yeah, I don't need it for that reason. No, bike doesn't ever go outside. I don't know. I don't know if Jordan's done anything that way. Uh, well, yes and no, Gene. Some of the lights that I put on some of the floodlights I put on the house out front and on the side of the house actually have the ability to, oops, hit the table here, actually have the ability to, have automatic on motion sensors on it, but I don't want that. I want them on when I turn them on. So I disabled the motion sensor. Ba-dum-bum. Well, and that's what the shotgun's for, Yvonne. Oh, it does if you disable the electric eye. I just bypass the eye. It's funny though, I've Googled myself and the information they have about me is wrong. As secure as you make it, I guess. Yeah, I found a shotgun is a pretty effective attitude adjuster, though. It's funny, the same guy who was going after Jordan and I think Carpetbagger and Adam and some of the others came after me for a little while. I don't think he anticipated me turning it around though. He made the mistake of making some rude comment using his actual Facebook account once. So I know who he is. I know where he lives. I know what he looks like. I know who his kids are. I know where his kids go to school. So, you know, he decides to become too much of a problem. I'll be a problem right back. I've been thinking about a dash cam too, but no, no, the rock collection isn't covered. Anyway, we're a little after 1 o'clock, so I think I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Got to get ready to go to San Antonio, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I'll get some videos up while I'm on the trip, get them edited on the laptop. If not, I'll wait until we come back, and hopefully, I'll have some good videos to look at. I'm going to go check out the Alamo, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to see Pee Wee's bike because that's supposedly there. Going to go hit the river walk, and I want to do some visit some caves in the area. So I think that's going to be fun. We're also going to check out and just see what I see along the way. Who knows? I'm taking some highways I've never taken before. So never been to San Antonio. This is going to be fun. So stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Had a good time today. Good night.